Hey guys, this is Lucas from Better Coding Academy, and in this video, I'm sitting down and we are interviewing Eva Ferreira. So Eva, would you like to tell our listeners a little bit about yourself if they've never heard of you or what you do?
Hi, thank you. Well, I'm Eva. I work in Argentina as a front-end developer. I also do some backend, even though I try to avoid it. And I also teach at university, and I try to, from time to time, give a couple of talks in conferences.
In terms of speaking and presenting and all the different things that you do, like CSS Conf Argentina as well, and being a professor at a university, how do you kind of get into all of that at the beginning?
Well, honestly, I began speaking at conferences in 2014. And back then there were many events in Argentina. So it was like, okay, the only way I can attend a conference is by speaking in a conference. So I end up sending CFPs to almost everywhere. And luckily getting picked to speak at one in CSS Conf US in 2014. And that's how it happened. It was like, I want to attend conferences and I really can because there's no one in Latin America. Right now, luckily, it's so much better. There are many events. So it was like that. It was like, I need to get invited to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What kind of kept you into it? Because after that, right, like you obviously keep presenting and finding a lot of success as well. So is there something that you're drawn to about it, or?
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you enjoy teaching, when you end up speaking in a conference, it's like suddenly you realize, okay, this is really nice because you can share something you like in a really short amount of time with a lot of people, and it gives you this chance to get to know people who are working on the same thing as you are, and that's amazing because it's like the whole environment of a conference is like this wonderful place to learn and to get to know people. And since you are there speaking, it's like you also teach something and you learn at the same time. And it's like that perfect combination of things.
Yeah. Do you think with in terms of many of our listeners, they might be thinking of presenting and doing similar things, but they might not feel like they have the right experience or the skill set to present. So do you feel like there is a certain level of experience that you need to have in order to start presenting?
No, not at all. But I do understand the fear because I have been there and I sometimes go through it again and again. And I think the most important part whenever you want to say, okay, I want to speak at an event, I think the most important part is to find something that you really enjoy. It's like, okay, I'm going to talk about how to make an invisibility cloak because I really love Harry Potter. And it doesn't matter if you're not an expert. I mean, you don't even need to have your talk ready to propose a talk. I mean, at least for me, when I proposed the Take On Me talk, it was like, I think I can make this work. So I'm going to send a talk proposal. And if I do get accepted, then I will see if I can. And luckily I was able to. But it's true that you don't really need to have your whole talk ready. You don't need to be an expert. You just need to be really passionate about that. And that will show. So that's important. It's not important if you're an expert or not. Nobody is an expert on anything. So it's fine.
And I found the same thing as well was I gave a talk a little while back at React Sydney for React in front end. And, I wasn't feeling super confident as well. I just wanted to do something. So what I did was basically just talk about what came out in the latest version of React. And that was kind of how I got started into it. And I actually found that I learned a lot as well. And other people came up to me and forged some really great connections, met some really nice people. So it was definitely a really great opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing because I guess me and Lucas have more been presenting in smaller crowds, not at the conference level. What would you say are some of the biggest differences and challenges when kind of presenting to a larger audience, and how do you kind of overcome them or prep yourself for that kind of stuff?
Well, for a lot of time, I thought there was no difference between a crowd of 100 people and a crowd of 1,000 until I actually end up speaking at the 1,000 people conference. There was okay, I wasn't really thinking about that.
I was going to say that's a really good mindset to have. It doesn't matter if it's one person or 1,000.
It's not the same. So is more scary, but at the end of the day, what's in front of you is people. I mean, they don't change. They're just more, but they are all nice. I mean, I think the mindset that you need to have when you go to speak at an event is people want you to do good, and people just are there to learn something. They don't care if you mess up a little bit. It's like it's okay, we are all human beings. So I think you need to go to the stage with that in mind, like these people want me to succeed because they are here to learn, and I'm here to teach them something, and hopefully that will work. And that's pretty much it. You need to try to, like, not to worry too much. But I know, because I've been there, I know the feeling of, okay, getting up a stage and suddenly seeing people everywhere, because 1,000 people is a lot. And that gets on you. I mean, you get nervous, but it's okay. Getting nervous is part of the process of speaking as well. Everybody gets nervous, even people who have been speaking for 15 years. So it's okay.
Yeah. So then if, in terms of, I guess, projects that you're looking at more to like develop from now on and like kind of show at like other conferences, is there anything that you have in mind that we could be looking forward to see at the next JSConf or something?
Honestly, I'm trying to spend November without thinking of new ideas, because I completely blank on what I want to do next. But we will see. I mean, I'm really looking forward to come up with something great, but I'm really afraid I will never be able to come up with something as great as an invisibility cloak on a stage. But we'll see.
Yeah, maybe next thing you got to do is a magic wand. So better figure out how to do that now. Yeah, start thinking now. So you sent through this this joke, Harry Potter joke. I think that's. I saw it for the first time. I'm like, this is so stupid, but it's so brilliant, and I love it. I love how specific it is, and how like most people look at it and they won't get it at all. So love that. Love the
Googleable. Sorry, I haven't seen it. Yeah, don't worry, you can send it to me later. Yeah, but yeah.
I thought I sent it to you.
Cool.
I showed you the image.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. I missed it. Yeah,
I forgot. Yeah. It's too late for him. Yeah, it's past his bedtime.
Yeah, I really try to find jokes or things that mix something that doesn't really get mixed really often, like programming and Harry Potter. That's something amazing. That's something that I really enjoy.
Yeah, and also like on the note is like in terms of your conferences as well, is like they have like a really nice element of almost like creativity. Like it's not necessarily like, you know, the hardest, most advanced like JavaScript, the latest thing, but it's just like that extra bit of call it nerdiness, call it, you know, creativity, whatever it will. And that's something that is definitely inspired me. So I feel like that's something I want to be able to do if I ever present again, is like maybe start off the thing with the Harry Potter joke, you know, and then lighten the mood and then build something from there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, kind of agree. Like for me, I guess when I watch kind of your talks, like it felt more comfortable. I suppose that's the best way to describe it. Like I just felt more comfortable listening to it. And I guess that's what kind of made me go through to the end. Because like some talks, you know, you kind of look for the details and you're really there to pick out everything, and then you kind of skip. But like I'm just not absorbing it for some reason. So yeah, that's whatever's happening is good.
Yeah, I just try to like keep it well balanced. Like, okay, show a little bit of code, but at the same time, like stop and show the results until then add a little bit more code. Because if you only show code and code and code, then basically it gets bored, or it gets something like, okay, I could be reading this in a blog post instead of
exactly. Yeah,
that's right.
I really enjoy seeing the process. Yeah.
And like also I think that that's
someone is complaining in the street.
Happens here as well. But also like I think that kind of would reflect as like more like kind of lecture style, like, oh, this is what we're doing now and let's see how it works, and step by step. So I love that. That's really cool. Eva, thank you so much for coming on the show. Is there anything, you know, like in terms of our listeners?
I don't know what's going on.
If our listeners want to learn more, I guess, about you and what you do, and follow you on online, on social media, where would be the best place to do that?
Definitely Twitter. I try to tweet a lot, and I try to tweet fun things most of the time. So yeah, and join me on Twitter, definitely.
Awesome.
Be like try to do talks if you can. I mean, if you're watching and you're not sure if you want to give a talk, just go ahead and propose a talk. People will definitely love it. And also look for the Global CFP Day, which is a really interesting initiative to teach people to create talk proposals and send them to conferences. So if you're interested, also check that out because it might help you to get started.
Yeah.
Sweet, awesome. You make me inspired. I definitely want to give a talk sometime soon. I'll try and fly my way down to Hungary or something, maybe, and get started from there. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Eva. This has been Lucas with Better Coding Academy, and hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later.